You're watching Through the Looking Glass with Dr. Jenny Klein.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jenny Klein, and I've missed you, so I'm back with a new show for us all. It's about our feelings, fears, and fantasies, our pain and our pleasure, our problems and our solutions. It's a time for us to get together, talk things over, think things over, and find out that we are not alone. Perhaps then we could all make this world and our lives just a little bit better. Did you ever consider yourself a workaholic and you find that your work is taking over all your time and you don't have any time left for things you want to do? Let's take a closer look at just that issue. Bob, how are you?
Fine, Dr. Klein. A little late, I'm sorry about that.
You working hard?
Always working, always working.
Really?
That's all I do is work.
What do you do?
I'm a teacher.
Uh-huh. Where do you teach?
High school.
Uh-huh.
High school history. But I also tutor on the side.
Oh, wow.
And I'm also a baseball coach.
Well,
I'm a
that
swimming
takes,
coach too, I forgot about that.
the coaching takes care of all your free time, right? And doing homework.
Yeah, but I love doing it. I love doing it.
Uh-huh.
Done it all my life.
Oh, you're doing what you want to when you coach.
Well, not really. They asked me to do it. Nobody wanted to step forward. So, the way I look at it, I was the one who had some talent to do it. Probably not the best person to do it, but you know what? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. I'll fill it in. I'm a good soldier.
You're a good soldier.
Yeah.
You must have been a very good boy, too. Do anything that anybody asked you to do.
Yeah, I'm an Eagle Scout.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've always been that way.
You do what you have to do. You do what you should do.
I do what I'm told to do.
Oh. Who was the first person who told you what to do when you were 3?
Well, I don't know, between my mother and my grandmother. My grandmother lived with us.
Oh.
So whatever they told me to do, I would do.
Right.
But they praised me for it.
Ah, I see. How about when you, did you ever say no?
That wasn't an option.
Oh,
That was
it's
not an option in my house.
No, it's not an option. Oh, so you did everything you were asked to do and they praised you for it.
Yeah.
But what happened to the times that you wanted to do something else? Did you ever have a little conflict about it?
I had it, but you know what?
Forget it.
Yeah.
My wants don't count.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have to.
no, I mean,
have to's count.
They kept them happy, I was happy. If they're happy, I'm happy.
Uh-huh. What about, if you'd be happy, was there ever anything you wanted to do that you didn't because you had to do other things for mother and grandma?
Yeah, I wanted to play other sports, but the only sport I played was baseball. But, I always had to be at home to do something. They basically told me, so I didn't have time to go to practice to the other ones. So I figured if I'm not going to do it right, I'm not going to do it at all.
So you kind of sacrifice some of your wants for your shoulds.
But that's what you're supposed to do. My grandmother told me, this is family, this is what you do. So I did it. I didn't question it.
So now when you have a class, the class is what you serve, and the teams, coaching the teams are what you serve, and there's still no time left for you.
But the way I look at it,
It's
in the end, I'm sure it'll all pay off. What I'm saying? It'll pay off. That's the way my mom used to say. Don't worry about it. In the end, it'll all come to. You'll get your glory. What I'm thinking.
glory. You'll be the best worker in the world and the best boy in the world.
I'm a good worker. I'm a very good
Oh,
worker.
I'm sure you are.
I'll tell you something. If these young kids learned what I've learned, we wouldn't have the problems in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
There are other teachers there. They don't put the time I do. I don't go home till 6 o'clock.
Don't you kind of resent that a little bit?
Down deep inside, I'll be honest with you. You're right. I do resent it.
When you couldn't go and play the other sports, did you feel bad a little bit about that?
You know what? I would have I
Moment.
hate to talk about this. I would be a little angry because, they'd be talking about it at school when I was younger and stuff like that. And I know I was better than these other people who were playing the sport. But you know what? You do it. It's family.
You sacrificed what you wanted for what your mom and grandma told you.
Yeah, but, my mom and grandma, they never saw it as a sacrifice because they did the same thing. So I
I
just
see.
did what they did.
It's a family inheritance. I
What do
come
you mean?
last, work comes first. Shoulds come first and my wants come last all the time.
They don't say that, but they always say work comes first. Time is money. That's the way I grew up. You just work.
Are you married?
Yeah. But I don't have much time for a relationship. That's why I'm here. All she does is complain. You know, well, we don't do things together. I said, look, I got all these things to do. Who's going to do it? And she tells me, let somebody else do it. And I said, what do you mean let someone else do it? No, I'm the person who's supposed to do it. And my issue is, I just want her to adjust to me. I don't want to adjust to her. And that's what her problem is.
You adjusted to your mom and your grandmother because you had to. You're the boy.
Yeah, but my wife,
You gave up the extra sports that you couldn't engage in, right?
I'd rather not look at it as I gave them up. I just did.
What you should do.
Thank you.
But when it comes to your wife, you're annoyed at her asking for time with her.
Yeah. She goes, why don't you spend more time with the kids? I said, listen, you're at home. You could spend time with the kids. I have all these obligations. I got things to do.
You are driven by why what you were taught, and your kids are experiencing daddy not being around.
You know,
Because daddy's so busy working. What do you think you're teaching them that your mother taught you? That work's more important than people, including daddy. Daddy didn't do the things that daddy wanted to do. It's okay to be for people and for you, but you've got it all 100%. But when it comes to your kids, they need their daddy to spend time with them. And you don't even have time for yourself. But in a way, kids should just get chores to do and not bother daddy. And mama should watch the kids and not bother
What?
daddy either.
Well, I try to keep them busy. I give them things to do. So
You give them things to do.
yeah, they have their tasks. I have the tasks all written down, what they need to do.
You're doing exactly what your mother and grandma did to your kids. And they're going to grow up and tell their wife, I have no time for you, I have too much work to do. And they're going to tell their kids when they grow up the same thing you're showing your kids. Here's the task, do the task. You're just like a carbon copy of your grandma and your mom. That's what you're doing.
But you know what? My dad left.
Oh, and you're the man of the family.
Exactly. Now you get it.
But you didn't leave your wife.
No. I'm dedicated. I'm committed.
Yes. But you're also so committed to work, you're not realizing a father is very important to their boys. But you won't allow yourself to do that.
Yeah,
To take them out and play sports with them and play ball with them. You don't have any time for them.
I don't know. I'm starting to feel guilty. I mean, I
I'm
hear what you're
not giving you a
saying.
guilt trip. I'm telling you to get off the guilt trip you have if you do something you want to do. Don't you want to play ball with your kids and teach
I
them?
want to, but then I have these other things to do.
But you have to sacrifice your wants once again as you did all your life. And that is hurting your boys. They want to spend time with their daddy, teaching them to play ball. How old are your children?
10 and 12.
Oh my God, that's such a critical age. And they don't have their dad. They need their dad. And you want to be with them, don't you? Your wants don't count. I forgot. I'm sorry. It's a blanket rule. Your wants don't count, and your kids are paying the price now.
I don't want to, but you see,
They want their
they
dad,
have
too.
food to eat, they have a house to live in, they have a mother, they have all those other things.
They also have a father, did you? Your father left.
That wasn't a choice. I didn't make that choice.
That's right. And that doesn't mean that other things should come before your children because your daddy left you and you need to be a daddy to them. I never tell people what to do, but I can see that you've had a very difficult time. You're a very responsible guy. But you know what? Daddy's presence is very important. And you have 2 children.
I hear what you're saying.
You're leaving them in a different way. You didn't leave the house. You just left them for work because that's what you were taught. It's a little too absolute, my friend.
Now you're getting deep. I mean, what you're saying, I understand what you're saying. I never looked at it that way. That's not.
But you're a good man, and you were so good that you weren't good to yourself, that you took away from yourself to be a really good boy because you had to fill in for the father who left the family.
You know, somebody told me that a long time. What are you compensating for? And I said, what are you talking about? I just do what I'm supposed to do.
So you got the point just now.
Yeah. No, I mean, what you're saying is starting to make sense, but I never put it together that way.
Your boys are paying the price the same way you did because you left to be a good boy and do everything you should do at
But
work.
they're good kids.
Look, they need their father. You did too. That relationship will teach them how to be a father. Don't teach them what you were taught.
How do you stop? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I wake up, my head, I'm automatic what I have to do. Yes.
I understand, believe me, I've done it myself. That's where I learned about it. I'll give you a book to read. It's all about the tyranny of the shoulds. The shoulds get to be an absolute 100%. There are many reasonable shoulds in this world, but boy, with our imagination, if we do everything we should be, it would be like Daddy never left. I would fill in for Daddy because I couldn't stop him from going, so I'm going to do everything I should and everything I should and everything I should, whoever asks me. But then your wants go wanting, and your kids have an absent father. You didn't leave the house, but you left their company. Don't do it to them.
But it's all I know. That's all I can tell you. That's
Learn
all I
some-
know.
But it's getting to you. You don't want your kids to feel the absence of a father, do you?
No, I can't take the stress.
Spend time with them, and the same way you wanted to have time with your daddy, but he left. You haven't left the house, but you've left.
You know, when I even try to spend time with them, I feel that I should be doing something else.
Ah, yes, I know all about it. Let me tell you something. The speed of the mind and bringing up the shoulds that we think we should do everything so we can fill in for our absent dad, and we should do everything. And anytime I want to do what I want, the should comes in and slaps us down. But you know what? There's something you can do about that.
What can I do?
You say, shut the heck up to that perfect boy you should be to make up for your daddy. Shut the heck up. I have shoulds too. I wake up in the morning and I go, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. I know about this since I'm 22. I'm a whole lot more than 22. And I know that whatever I imagine I should be is still there. And I've learned to say, okay, should. I'm going to do what I want to do. Your boys are going to suffer without a father while you never left the house.
What's funny is I use that word a lot, should. I tell them what they should do. I tell my wife what she should do. I'm not familiar. You know what's funny? I never use the word want. But all my life, you know, my mom would say, that's what you should do.
That's what
I
you were
did.
told, and
Yeah.
you did it. But that's you're not going to be lacking in shoulds. You're very good at it. You're so good at it, you can't find your wants. You're never going to fail unless you want this perfect 100% thing. If I do everything I should, my dad will come running home. He didn't. The fact of the matter is, you just wiped out your wants. And your kids want, I'm sure, to be with their daddy and play ball with them. They're 10 and 12 years old, for God's sake.
They don't complain.
Well, because they shouldn't.
That's a good point.
They probably say, well, I guess I'm not important enough for Daddy to spend time with me. He buys them everything.
Yeah.
That's not time, honey. That's a gift. There's a difference.
And the sad part is I said, don't become like your mother. Don't complain. I'm just telling them to man up.
And your mother has something to complain about because I haven't spent time with her either. I'm so busy doing what I should since I'm a boy. God, save yourself, save your sons, save your marriage.
Yeah, well, the relationship's on the brink right now.
This is not going to be easy because your shoulds run you. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll give you a whole book on it I wrote. And it's called How to Get Free. Doesn't mean that you become irresponsible. It means that you don't become irresponsible to your wants and to your children's wants and to your wife's wants. It doesn't mean you stop working. It means you stop having shoulds run your life. You don't want to do that to your boys.
I know, but it's almost automatic. You're right.
It is
when you told me
automatic.
about waking up, and it's almost like a to-do list automatically. It's all and I function well under that. I just can't sit down
But
not
your
doing.
wife's complaining and your kids don't have time with you.
True.
And I'm not saying that's a should. I'm saying that's probably a want that you deny yourself. But while you do it, you deny your wife and your children.
But I don't even see it that way.
You're seeing it a little different now.
Yeah, it's like I blind myself to that stuff.
Who's the eye that blinds you? The perfect one who does everything he should?
Yeah, ideally that's what I'm working toward. I want to be the ideal guy, the ideal employee, the ideal coach, the ideal
Father, husband.
Yeah, I guess I'm not. Now that you put it, yeah, I do.
Well,
I mean, they
why?
have nothing to want for, as far as I'm concerned. I guess
I have a great solution for you.
What?
When you go to work, you be with the kids at the same time.
What?
Well, if you're going to be the ideal father and you're going to be the ideal should worker, then you can be in two places at the same time.
There are days I wish I could be.
And then you call yourself a failure because you can't be in two places at the same time. Guess what? Nobody can.
It's like my
That's
mom used to say, "Life's not fair." Now that I just
You have to be fair to yourself, and then you'll be fair to your boys and to your. There's nothing wrong with working, but not to the 100% where you've wiped out your family without having left. You've left.
But honey, you know what?
You
That's what she
provide.
said. She goes, "You know what? Emotionally, you've gone." I said, "What do
She
you
doesn't
mean?"
understand. Bring her in next time. She doesn't understand that you are driven by what you were taught. And that made you a good boy. And so to be a good man and a good husband, you have to work. And time with one another doesn't count. That's not how relationships succeed.
She told me I'm different when my mom's around, and there's probably truth to it. She goes, "I can't even get your ear. Your mom's around, you seem to be a totally different person." And there might be some truth to that.
How?
Because she goes, "Look, you'll please your mom, but when I ask you to do something, forget it."
Well, you couldn't afford to get angry as a boy with a father that abandoned the family. You couldn't afford for your poor mom to get angry at her to say no. You can say no to your wife, though.
Yeah.
You haven't abandoned the family, but you have. In another way.
That's a weird catch-22.
It sure is.
I'm trying to, I mean, I don't know. I'm even afraid to bring it up with her. It's just like,
Why don't you bring her in and I'll help her understand. She doesn't know why. She doesn't know. I mean, here's a good man who works his heart out and he's
yeah, why
coaches a
she's
team.
complaining.
And because there's no room for her wanting to be with you and there's no room for you wanting to be with her, you wouldn't have married her.
That's true. I think she just...
And you thought you'd please her the way you please your mother and your grandma.
Yeah, but then I start getting angry when she... I don't even...
Because I can't be 100% doing all my shoulds from the minute I wake up.
Right, I want to say, just get in line.
And do what you want and what I want too, because I wouldn't have married her. You wouldn't have married her if you didn't want to marry her and be with her. But it means not only working, but it means relating to her. She does not understand why, so she's getting mad at you. And your boys are suffering from this. I'm not saying you're not a good man. I'm saying you're not good enough to yourself to respect your wants, as well as you had to sacrifice your wants for what you should be to replace your daddy. And now you're not a daddy to your boys because you're not there. Or a husband to your wife because you're not there. And you don't, these are the roots of why. It's not because you're a bad man. It's not because you don't care. It's because you don't care about your wants because you weren't allowed them. It's should, do. Your wife, you understand it first. And then if you can try to explain it to your wife, if she's too mad or something, she doesn't know.
She doesn't even want to talk anymore.
No, because she's not getting any answers.
Right.
Because you didn't have your own answers. That's why you came here.
Yeah. I couldn't take it anymore. She goes, you need to see somebody and this is over.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your family.
I don't. I really don't. I mean, I didn't realize it was this bad.
Well, it was what you were taught. You're still doing 100%, and that is really hurting your boys and your wife. While you're supporting them and you're a good man and everything else, your shoulds are hurting you too. You have no room for your wants. How are you going to have room for your boys' wants or your wife's wants? Wants are not what this world's about. Work is what it's about. What you should do is what it's about.
Keeping yourself busy. You don't get in trouble when you keep yourself busy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I mean.
Well, you can be busy doing the things you love to do. You like sports, play with your boys.
I love sports, you know.
Well, good. But you sacrifice what you love to do more work. Remember you told me.
I do. I truly do. You know, and it's not about the money. I mean, I'm not about the money, but if I'm doing something, yeah, here goes that word should.
Go ahead. Listen
that
to it.
I feel like I should be doing.
And what do you say when you hear another should?
Shut up.
Shut up. That voice in my head.
But it's automatic.
I know it is.
I mean...
You know, the mind is a funny place because 90% is unconscious. It has all the things you were taught and everything that ever happened in your life, it's there. It's very fast processing. It processes at 400 million synapses, the gap between the wires of your brain, the neurons, a second. Your conscious mind, your aware mind, is only 12 to 14,000 synapses a second. So that when you process things, like on a computer, you process, you search for a file, well, your brain is the fastest computer going, but it's unconscious. And as soon as you have a choice between a should and a want, it isn't even a choice. You should, and the wants drop out. So do your kids and your wife. They're not in the formula. You're serving them by working and doing and earning. So what happens is there's no time. And you got to catch with a slower mind, your conscious mind, where we're consciously talking, that faster thing that goes no to wants. No to wants. No to wants, yes to shoulds. No to my wants, no to my wife's wants, no to my kids' wants. But yes to my shoulds. That makes me a good boy.
I've gotten to the point that I don't even know what I want.
No,
crazy, but
your wants aren't allowed, but you know what you should. You're terrific at it.
Yeah.
You're terrific.
I'm great at it. I'm an expert. I'll write a book on that.
Well, why don't you?
Maybe I should.
If only if you want to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so here's a good man working. His wife's unhappy, his boys don't have him. I said, wait a minute. You have tasks to do. You have to coach, you have to this, you have to that. You have to do everything to the exclusion of wants. Yours, your wife's, and your boys.
That's my life.
Change it.
I was ready to say
Change this guy. Change this guy in here. It's a slow process, I promise you. And your wife has no idea of why you're like this. She just feels uncared about.
Yeah, that's what she says.
How could you say I'm uncared? I'm doing everything I should. She says, yeah, but it doesn't include her.
Yeah. He goes, don't you love me? I said, what are you talking about? You got food, you got clothes, you got house, you got everything, you got kids. Good point. I got to do what?
Okay, and I want to see you next week, and just think about the shoulds and the wants, and the fact that you were making enough for the daddy that abandoned the family.
Never thought about
you had to
that.
be a good boy.
Never thought about
And your wife doesn't understand this because you hardly understand it, and you're getting to.
And brought up a good point. You know what? I think this is a problem we're going to have to solve together.
Yes, I think so. And I'm sure she will, because she knows you're a good man. She wouldn't have married you otherwise. You're a good, responsible man. But you have to also be responsible to your needs and your wants, not just your shoulds. There's nothing wrong. I should pay my rent, I should go to work, I should do my job. But then there are wants too. We can't obliterate ourselves like that.
I've been doing
Your daddy did the opposite. He didn't do anything. He should have stayed home and support his family and raise him.
Correct.
He left.
Right.
He did all his wants.
Yeah.
Yeah. But realistic shoulds.
Okay.
Okay?
Next week.
Next week.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you.
A different kind of job.
Yeah.
Job of finding my other side. Okay. Take care.
Thank you, Dr. Klein.
Okay, I wanted to thank Eddie Nieves, who comes a long way to do this show and has done so for many, many years, my dear friend. Thank you so much, Eddie. That was such a fabulous role. You must have internalized that tremendously. And we never rehearsed this. I just give him the thing on top, and he comes in with a whole story. And I don't know it until we're taping. God bless you. That was fabulous. Thank you, Eddie. And I want to thank you very much for watching, saying hello when I'm bopping around town, and for your emails and letters and things. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to tell you also that my wonderful cameraman since God knows when, Kaz Bielin of Premier Media, he's terrific. He put our show on YouTube and just told me this morning that it shows all over Europe in the country's language immediately. It's translated. I had no idea. So he put a lot of the shows on YouTube, so you can watch it on YouTube if you want to, or on my website, or you can, I'd like to know what you think, what kind of shows you'd like, what kind of issues we can do. So just write to me, and I think it's on the credits. Ginny Klein, you take real good care of yourself. Just keep looking through the looking glass. Bye-bye.
Dr. Jenny Klein would love to hear from you. Email her, jennyklein@gmail.com, or give her a call at 908-722-2933. If you'd like to see more, feel free, just go to drjennyklein.com.